Good evening and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk. Tonight, he's back and we're going to have a very interesting conversation with the Chief Operating Officer of Metro Dumaguete Water. We have with us Mr. Angelo David Contreras Berba. Sir David, maayong gabi and welcome again sa Let's Talk.
Good afternoon, Dok Dinno, and happy Friday night. No?
Anyways, how's things there in MDW? And how are you?
Good. Very excited kasi we are planning to drill na the 2 new deep wells. Kasi kaka-approve lang ng budget sa amin sa head office. And this is good news to all of our customers. So we're expecting improvement in supply and pressure pag nagawa na ito.
That's good to hear. Now, as Chief Operating Officer of Metro Dumaguete Water, could you tell our viewers what exactly are your main functions and responsibilities?
My role is to, of course, run the day-to-day activities, operations. Make sure for us to we'll be able to meet the targets, committed to our regulator, which is Dumaguete City Water District. And of course, yung talent optimization, kasi we want to enable our employees and update them with the best practices sa water industry.
Yeah.
So yan ang main role natin. And of course, bring our services closer to each customer.
Now, I understand many would know you not coming from Dumaguete City, but so far, how have you adjusted with life here in Dumaguete?
Madali lang kasi when I came here, January 2020, before pandemic hit, people were very hospitable. I'm a triathlete and I was very happy to know na meron tayo strong triathlon group dito. So yung Larga Via tsaka yung Tri-1. And they were hospitable kahit ang LGU. Ang mga Dumagueteño kasi talaga totoo pala yun. Land of gentle people. So yun nga yung sinasabi ko yung observation ko na hindi lang siya sabi-sabi pero totoo pala siya.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Now, talk about the time you assumed office up to the present. How has it been going on for you there at MDW?
We started operations February 1, 2021. It's been almost 1 year and a half of operations. When we came in, there were a lot of problems as expected. What are those problems? High water losses, low water pressure, low water availability, less than 24 hours. People are enjoying sometimes 15 hours, 10 hours a day or less than.
Yeah.
And of course, we have a lot of critics and customers were dissatisfied of the service. 18 months after, slowly but surely, people or our customers are somewhat getting fulfilled na, medyo satisfied na sila. We have our own data to show improvements in pressure and water availability, particularly in areas of Batingel, Motong, Taclobo, Daro. So medyo problematic pa rin. Meron kaming mga low pressure areas dyan sa mga lugar na yan, but at least we know what to do and we have programs to address those problems and issues.
Okay.
In 2 to 3 years' time, we're confident that we'll be able to increase pressure and water availability.
Usually in any endeavor, hindi naman mawawalan tayo ng critics, no? And there have been some of those in the community who have been quite critical of the joint venture agreement between Metro Pacific Water and Dumaguete City Water District. Now, talk about the motivation behind MDW now offering and doing this joint venture with DCWD.
For Metro Pacific Group kasi, we're always on the lookout for PPP. With our success in Metro Manila, our sister company is Maynila, the biggest water concessionaire in the Philippines. We want to bring our learnings and our expertise to various cities. Metro Pacific Group is present in terms of water operations. We're in Iloilo, Cagayan de Oro, Laguna. We have operations also in Vietnam. So we want to share our best practices sa iba-ibang lugar. And Dumaguete, we're fortunate enough to seal the joint venture transaction with Dumaguete City Water District. Of course, it was met by a lot of criticism by a lot of stakeholders, but again, we entered into several dialogues with several stakeholders. For example, yung business sector, barangays, liga ng mga barangays. We conducted several roadshows din to the media para ipahatid namin yung programs namin and service namin and expertise.
Now, talk about the legal basis of the 25-year joint venture agreement.
Yes, so the legal basis, there are a lot of modalities for PPP. Pero takeover, yan yung tinatawag na privatization. But itong legal framework namin is different. It's a joint venture with Dumaguete City Water District. So, we want to inform everyone na hindi ito binenta ng Water District. Ito ay partnership, meaning Dumaguete City Water District is still existing. They are the regulator holding 20% of the MDW or Metro Dumaguete Water. They play as the regulator and we are the operator.
Okay.
So, following the 2013 NEDA JV guidelines, almost all of the top water districts in the Philippines have joint ventures with private entities. And ang laging ginagamit nila is either 2013 NEDA JV guidelines or a straight takeover. Okay. But for us, we see the value of Dumaguete City Water District to still be part of the joint venture. So that's why they are still holding 20%. As to the question kung bakit 20% and 80% si private entity, it's a product of negotiations. Of course, ang limit na public entity is just 49%. So, 49% pababayad. Ang question dyan is, can you handle the projected capital expenditure of about projected to be at 1.6 billion for the next 25 years, no? And ano yung may bibigay ni DCWD sa table? So, nag-agree ang parties. So, sige, Metro Pacific will be the investor and Dumaguete City Water District will contribute its asset temporarily. Again, temporarily. Kasi at the end of the 25-year period, we will turn it over back to DCWD. Yun yung maganda doon. Hindi siya pinagbili ni DCWD. At the same time, ibabalik pa namin lahat ng investment kay Dumaguete City Water District at the end of the 25-year period. So kung 1.6 billion pesos yung ginastos namin for the improvements, at the end of the 25 years, yung iba doon pwedeng mag-appreciate, for example, yung mga lots, land, no? Other facilities, yung fixed structures, lahat yun ibabalik namin kay DCWD with the improvements na. Kasi at the end of the 25-year period, dapat 20% water loss na lang kami. 24 hours water supply. 10 PSI sa lahat ng monitoring points. Meaning, dapat na meet na lahat yung improvements na yan. So, and we're contractually obligated to do so.
So, for clarification purposes for our viewers, no, this is not really a privatization of our water utility.
Yes, that's the negative notion that we want to correct. Hindi siya privatization kasi merong negative connotation kagad pag sinabi mong privatization. Parang for profit sinakop ng isang private or ng corporate. Hindi siya ganun. Ano to think of it as, kunwari si DCWD nag-loan sa bangko. Maglo-loan lang siya ng bangko and siya yung he will continue the operations without any commitment sa service. What we are doing is we're investing 1.6 billion and at the same time we're promising improvements. So this is a win-win for the water district and all the consumers, and also for us for being able to show our expertise to Dumaguete.
When you operated, no, and when MDW assumed full control of the operations, What was the current state of the DCWD then?
Yes, so unang-una napansin namin yung low water pressure. Before, nung nag-meet tayo, Dok Dinno, I mentioned that I was staying in Motong.
Yes.
6 p.m. wala na akong tubig. 6 a.m. wala na rin akong tubig. And yun talaga yung problema. Low water pressure, low water availability, less than 24 hours yan. Dilapidated pipes, madaming leaks. We repaired almost more than 3,000 leaks last year, no? And right now, nasa 3,000 leaks na rin na repair na. Okay. So maraming problems, and as you can see in the major thoroughfares, maraming MDW diggings and excavation. Those are because of the leak repairs and the pipeline rehabilitation.
Okay.
And of course, the biggest factor is culture change also for us, sa mga employees then and organization.
Now, in any of these solutions that you provided and initiatives, let's talk about costing. No? What was the cost involved in addressing these concerns by MDW?
So for the first 3 years, Dok Dinno, meron na tayong equity ang Metro Pacific, no, na amounting to almost 700 million.
Wow.
Then nag-loan na rin kami for our projects in the next 3 years to about 600 million. So yan ang mga expenditure na nakikita natin for the next 3 years. Kasi front-loaded yung improvements namin para gusto namin damang-dama kagad yung improvements ng customers. No? And these are also specified in the contract. For example, by year 5, you were able to meet your certain targets in pressure, water availability, pipelines, automation, improvements in the office, etc.
Yeah. Now,
ganun yung mangyayari.
Dave, talk about significant milestones and initiatives made by Metro Dumaguete Water since the inception of being at the helm of operations in the local water utility. As you said, since 2021.
Yeah. Significant milestones would be yung number 1, yung mga very apparent sa customers. We launched online payments. They don't have to line up here in our office just to pay their bills. Before MDW, we saw people lining up for 2 hours just to pay their bills and file complaints. Right now, pwede na tayo magbayad sa GCash, EasyPay, D-Plaza, mga banks, mga partner payment facilities natin. And also, they can file their complaints sa aming hotline. We have 2 hotline numbers, no? And meron kaming Facebook page. So, ito yung sa customer side. As to the operation side, our water losses back then was 46% noong February 1, 2021. Right now, we're at the 40% level. And 6 percentage points, malaki yan. Kaya niya magpatubig na at least 6,000 household para lang makita niyo yung magnitude nung losses improvement or yung plugging of leaks.
Okay.
Of course, we have intermittent power supply here in Negros. Kasi parang kung makikita nyo, pag nag-brown out, meron pa rin tayong tubig. So that's because we purchased gensets for each and every pumping station.
Yeah.
So kahit may brown out, kaya namin mag-operate pa rin and continue our service. Ayun pa, leaks. We repaired about 3,000 leaks last year. And to date, for 2022, we already repaired more than 3,000 leaks also. We increased 2 of our pumping stations, yung yield nila. Yung sa Bunyaw, dati nagpo-produce lang siya ng 1.5 million liters per day. Ngayon, kaya niya na mag-produce ng kahit 5 million liters per day. Anong significance ba nung difference nun? Yung 3.5 million liters per day is equivalent to 3,500 houses. Kunwari, walang tubig yung 3,500 houses. Kaya mo siyang supplyan ng ganung volume every day. Ganun kadami.
Now, in terms of significant infrastructure projects, no, what are we looking at for 2022?
2022, we just inaugurated 2 new lots in Talay and Kandaway. Ito yung pagtatayuan namin ng reservoir or ng imbakan ng tubig or storage, water storage. And 2 new deep wells. For the 2 new deep wells, we just awarded it to our contractor just this week, no? And hopefully it can yield to at least 5 million liters per day ulit. Yung 5 million liters per day na yan, dadalhin natin yung tubig sa mga low water availability or low water pressure areas. Mga Daro, Bunyaw, Batinggil, Motong, doon natin dadalhin yung tubig yan.
David, how about other upcoming projects and significant undertakings for 2023? What are we looking at now here?
It will be felt by a lot of our customers now because just also today we got the approval for the budgetary allocation for several distribution pipelines, and there will be a lot of diggings and excavations sa mga major thoroughfares. Just to give you an example, itong sa North Point and Philin West area, walang pipeline dyan sa harap. So, we're planning to lay pipelines sa area na yan, sa Rovira Road, and several locations. Yan, makikita talaga yan ng mga customers kasi maghuhukay kami. And it will be a temporary inconvenience sa traffic. Another project is automation. We're planning to launch our automation of our deep wells, meaning in phases, it will be done in phases. Yung phase 1, kaya namin i-automate yung 3 to 4 deep wells namin, meaning kaya namin kontrolin yung operations niyan dito lang sa Daro, sa head office namin. Hindi natin kailangan puntahan yun 24 hours para lang i-on or off. Yan ang mga major projects namin. And also, of course, NRW reduction continuous yan. Meron din tayo, kung makikita nyo, Dok Dinno, and to our customers, the massive meter replacement program. All of our meters are being standardized. Maayos na yung alignment niya. And it shows na if we standardize it, meron siyang at least increase na in pressure in mga 1 PSI. So, hindi lang aesthetic yung massive meter replacement natin, but also to increase water flow, to improve the water flow to each household. And of course, pagka standardize natin yung mga meters, magkakaroon tayo ng accurate meter reading. And it will lessen non-revenue water.
I understand that there's been a significant reduction of delinquency of payments among consumers here. Talk about that aspect.
Yeah, so when we came in last February, our collection efficiency was about 60%, 65%. So with the introduction of online payments and of course improvement of our service, I think the customers are starting to trust us more. No? And right now, our collection efficiency nasa average ng 90%. Ang average payment on-time payment is about 80%. So magandang indicator yan sa trust ng customers natin.
Now, can you expound further on this? I mean, you were talking about innovations in terms of technology. There's the so-called text advisory system. Talk about that one.
Yeah, so we partnered with Smart. Once you register your mobile number or your contact numbers to MDW, if there are announcements, for example, interruptions, unscheduled interruptions, pag nasunog yung bomba namin, wala ng tubig sa isang lugar, we can send a text blast to all of our customers in the affected areas. So, hindi nyo na kailangan hanapin pa sa Facebook or pumunta pa sa office namin para magtanong kung bakit merong water interruption. So, kami na mismo yung magpapadala ng notice of interruption sa cellphone nyo. All you have to do is register your cellphone numbers with us.
I know that MDW is quite involved has involved themselves in corporate responsibilities also for the for the locality. No? Now, talk about your community development programs as part of that.
Yeah, in partnership with the local government unit, hindi lagi na-highlight is the groundwater conservation fund. We're paying 1 peso. We're sharing 1 peso for every cubic meter sold to our customer to the LGU. So this equates about 9 million peso, 9 million pesos to pay to the LGU for groundwater conservation fund. So that alone is a major CSR contribution by MDW. Number 2, meron kaming several programs with the barangays. Just recently, we awarded 30 mobile phones to each of the barangay para meron silang contact numbers. Kasi yun ang observation namin, kulang na contact numbers ng mga barangay. So we awarded mobile phones, SIM card, and initial load in partnership with Smart. And also, we have programs with the schools, the academy, wherein we are putting up hand washing facilities sa bawat school and establishment. Makikita niyo yun. Pwede kayo magugas dyan very timely kasi COVID. So, yun ang mga various CSR programs namin. Also, meron kami watershed programs in partnership with Dumaguete City Water District. Dito sa Barangay Lunga, Valencia, ang watershed na nag-feed sa aquifers natin. Meron tayong yearly tree planting dyan, and our target is to plant 7,000 trees yearly.
Wow.
So last year, we are happy to announce that we were able to plant about 9,000 trees dito sa Barangay Lunga in Valencia. And of course, continuous pa rin yung partnership namin with the barangays. Kasama namin dito, of course, ang ABC President, sila Kapitan Johnny Amores, and of course, ang iba-ibang stakeholders natin. We have some partnerships with various groups, for example, ang Rotary, sa sports and tourism, partner namin yan sa last Dumaguete Triathlon, and other activities.
Now, of course, yung fast tracking nyo in terms of developments at saka yung mga significant projects and developments that you're doing. Needless to say, madami rin maybe would be worried about the fact that should water consumers here in the locality expect to pay higher water bills, if any?
Yes, along with the improvements, of course, meron yung capital requirement or investment requirement. The increases will be filed by Dumaguete City Water District sa regulator, si Local Water Utilities Administration. And of course, Local Water Utilities Administration will have to check its affordability. So they have certain tests before they approve tariff increases. We will ask for approvals kay Dumaguete City Water District, and Dumaguete City Water District will in turn file that to Local Water Utilities Administration. So, bottom line, it's a very lengthy process. And maybe ang next tariff increases in the next 2 years pa.
Okay.
Ganun siya mangyayari.
In the next 2 years, I'm pretty sure yung mga infrastructure projects nyo would be done already, plus yung mga piping nyo would be already be more or less completed na by then, no?
Definitely. Daman-daman na talaga, or customers will feel really all of the improvements that we are introducing. Water pressure, water availability, and of course, yung customer service, yun din yung gusto namin i-highlight. Approachable si MDW.
Yeah. Now, kudos to MDW and under your leadership, David, no? And in parting, kindly share with our viewers and with our local water consumers here, your message as COO of MDW.
Yeah, we would like to highlight lang the last State of the Nation address by President Bongbong Marcos, wherein he highlighted the importance of PPP, or public-private partnership, to solve the problems about water provision. So he said that we have to work together, and he acknowledged the problems here in the Philippines, all over the Philippines, congested water pipelines, dilapidated, due for replacement pipes. And we're lucky as a residents of Dumaguete that we have set the model for this public-private partnership framework. And of course, we intend to keep the lead in this endeavor. And makikita talaga natin pwede itong model sa ibang cities and adjacent municipalities.
Correct.
So we echo the President's trust regarding PPP.
David, thank you very much on you for being my guest tonight. And I'm
Thank
sure
you.
again, as I said, this will not be the last. As we go on, I'll be interviewing you again so that you can update the public and our local consumers about what's going on with MDW and the work that you're doing. Again, kudos to the good work that you're doing with MDW and the things that you're doing for Dumaguete City and the locality.
Thank you and good evening, Dok Dinno.
Okay, David, thank you very much. That was our guest for tonight, the Chief Operating Officer of Metro Dumaguete and Mr. Angelo David Contreras Berba. And we'll be talking to him again anew as time goes by. So that's our program for tonight. I'm Dok Dinno. Be well and let's keep talking.